Our next speaker is an award-winning author and educator. He currently serves as president of the Toast of Severna Park Club. He recently published the fourth book titled Bring Inner Greatness Out, Personal Brand. It was inspired by our Toastmasters Club. The speaker believes everyone has greatness and a unique gift to share with the world, and his passion is helping people dare to bring out this greatness. His project tonight is engaging humor, researching, and presenting. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech. The title is Imagine. Help me welcome our president, Dr. Mansur Hasib.
Have you ever abandoned your dream before even perusing the first step? Toastmasters and guests, I certainly have. And in most cases, it was the right thing to do. Like skydiving or parasailing or the marathon or even the polar bear dip. And also the giant roller coaster. I did try the roller coaster once or twice and nearly died. Closing my eyes did not help. However, I perused the research and learned that we can harness the power of imagination to help achieve challenging goals. Let me share the story of Roger Bannister. British journalist and runner John Bryant wrote that since 1886, runners from North America, Europe, and Australia had been unable to run a mile under 4 minutes. The barrier was psychological as much as it was physical. All runners trained under traditional methods by traditional coaches had mentally created a physical limitation. Roger Bannister shunned traditional coaches and devised his own method of training. He imagined himself running a mile in less than 4 minutes. He spent hours telling himself he could do this. Then, on May 6th, 1954, on a cold day on a wet track, not the most ideal conditions, he broke the record and ran a mile in under 4 minutes. What happened afterwards is even more remarkable. Just 46 days after Roger Bannister's feat, an Australian runner named John Landy broke Roger Bannister's record. Soon, 3 more runners ran in under 4 minutes. How did this happen? Human physical abilities did not suddenly change. Instead, their mental barriers were removed. They imagined. That allowed them to achieve. The power of imagination was significant in my life also. Ever since the 5th grade, I imagined myself studying in America. I imagined it even though it was neither practical nor logical, since most days, all we had to eat were rice and potatoes. Meat or fish was a rare treat in our house. However, Mom said, if I studied hard and developed multiple parts of my brain, I would one day be able to study in America. She particularly urged me to learn English well. Given all the exceptions in the English language, that was not easy. Finally, when the time came, I was able to scrape up enough money to take the SAT exams once, but no money to take the TOEFL, Test of English as a Foreign Language. The application form clearly stated, do not ask for a waiver or an exception. After several weeks of thinking and perusing in my brain, an idea struck me. English is not a foreign language to me. I had learned to speak, read, and write English at the same time as any native speaker. So I decided to send in my application along with a letter arguing that as a fully bilingual person, I should be considered a native English speaker, and TOEFL is not applicable to me. I also wrote it in beautiful cursive handwriting, displaying a mastery of language, logic, and art. What do you think happened? 2 universities sent me letters agreeing with me, and I was accepted with full scholarship and transfer credit. Now, take this lesson in your own life. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? I urge you to imagine yourself already there. Imagine, and you will get there. That inspiration of imagination is continuously going to give you powers that you did not even know you had. That is the beauty of this inner greatness that we all have. Imagination gives us the opportunity to imagine us as great. And as soon as we can imagine it, we can do it. You can see the examples in our club. Several people that just got elected in the leadership of our club joined only about 6 months ago. Most of them haven't been a Toastmaster for even a year. So as you can see, by imagining themselves and embracing the club motto of bringing that inner greatness out, they have been able to do so. So I urge all of you to embrace, imagine, and be great. Thank you very much.
Our second evaluator is Mr. Ryan McClure, who's evaluating Dr. Mansur Hasib. Ryan, the floor is yours.
Wow, Dr. Mansur, always impressive every time you speak. I loved your speech. You always have that just clear, natural tone. You got that deep tone. I loved your title. I love how you started it with the theme, imagine. And your stories followed with that. Your stories about the runners really followed that. If you imagine that you can do it, and when other people see other people doing things, it just pushes us as a human race to be able to do it. I liked, how your story, how you were intrigued to write a letter, to be able to be accepted. I also liked how you started it with, some things that you were scared of in the beginning, skydiving, parasailing, those things. I always feel a story, as you used a couple stories, is what really makes you connect. So I feel like, as always, you excelled at that. You excelled at making us feel, as we could feel it. We could feel your story about the letter you wrote. And I've noticed a theme about the English language in many of your speeches. Always a theme and some humor there about how interesting our language is. But overall, amazing speech. I was inspired, by your start, and I was inspired by your body and your stories. I did feel something that you could excel more at and improve was, I felt at the ending, I feel like you could have used that inspirational, that deep voice to, bring out that believe, that imagine, as you always do, like you did in the table talk, just kind of end it with a bang. So that was the only thing. And I would say there was really nothing. I thought about how can you challenge yourself, and there's things that you said, skydiving, parasailing. I'm big into those, so maybe you could try those. You may have even more crazy stories to come. But overall, I loved the speech. We could feel it, and that's, I think, how I prefer speech to be, is I want to feel the energy from you rather than, you're just content. I want to feel your emotion. I want to feel that moment when we're there with you, like you experienced it. So great job, Dr. Mansur. Great speech.